Who is in WWE's Magical Mystery Box? We tried to answer this earlier in the week, but as the day goes by, all of a sudden you start staring off into the distance and you think, wait a minute, maybe I've got this completely wrong, and the best thing that we can do on YouTube is come up with 10 ideas, that magical number of 10, and I actually have 10. Some of them are really good, some you think will sound stupid, but then you remember who we're dealing with, and we get very, very scared. Let's go. And number 10, of course, is Christopher Jericho. Right, now actually when you go look at Chris Jericho's schedule, and apparently he did a podcast saying he's going to be doing a movie in March, all of a sudden you start going, maybe it's not Chris Jericho at all. Then there's rumours that his AEW contract got frozen, given him going to do Fozzy dates, so actually when it was going to end is not when it's meant to end, and then there's all this stuff, like he's still on the AEW roster page and blah, blah, blah. Now do not forget, if I was Chris Jericho, I would love the internet to be awash with stories like that, because it's going to make my surprise bigger, and the counterpoint to all of this is we're in Chicago. I think when Jericho debuted in 1999, we were in Chicago, so there may be a nice connection tissue there. Ultimately, we don't know. It kind of feels like there's a lot of smoke going. When there is smoke, there is fire. And I've started to decide that it's probably not going to be Chris Jericho. And all of us look like fools. I don't agree with this whole, it's a stupid idea to put somebody in a box. WWE has been putting people in boxes. Pro wrestling, I should say, has been putting people in boxes for years. Go and find that Jim Cornette interview when he talks about this. That was like from the mid-80s, right? You sit around, you go, how should we debut someone? And it's always a box. It's not always a literal box. It just means a mystery. And even though we do have 42,797 mysteries in WWE at the moment, curiosity did smack the cat. People do like it. Where I sit today, whatever the flip of the day is, I'm going to say maybe it's actually not Chris Jericho. Number 9 is Danhausen. Now, this didn't really come out of anything. It was just an idea that somebody put forward. But given the Danhausen character, it would be wonderful. And I am not having this, people don't know who Danhausen is. It's so stupid. The people that replied to my social media post about this saying, oh yeah, only you and 3 other people would know who Danhausen was. Well, you must know. So you're one of those 4 people. It doesn't make any sense. Danhausen in Chicago would get a massive reaction. Are you crazy? Do you not understand how geeky and nerdy wrestling fans are? Of course you do, because we are them as well. And everybody is now plugged into the bigger wrestlers and the smaller wrestlers and the in-between wrestlers. This is like Vince McMahon, and no, I'm not saying that AJ Styles and Danhausen are on the same level. I'm not saying that. I'm just using it as a comparison. It's similar to when Vince McMahon saw the AJ Styles pop at the 2016 Royal Rumble and apparently told Vince McMahon afterwards, other way around, Vince McMahon told him, because my computer made a stupid noise, afterwards, oh, that's nothing to do with you. It was a fluke, right? Danhausen would get a big reaction. Maybe it won't be CM Punk levels, and maybe it won't be, who else came back at flipping? Someone, the John Cena Hilton, that was at the Chamber. He would get a massive pop. It happened in AEW and he debuted on the ladder, but Adam Cole pulled him out. And people like to pretend there's this huge differences between wrestling fans. Not in Chicago, man. Not in Chicago at all. In Chicago, they would love this and they would pop for it. And I would be super duper excited for it as well. You could even, actually, and I love this, do I think it's going to happen? No. But you could have the ruse be Danhausen comes out, and then you get the Jericho countdown too. So you just have a segment that people go crazy for. And again, 2 years ago, CM Punk in Chicago. Triple H seems to be obsessed with doing things at Elimination Chamber. So we had the John Cena heel turn last year. You may have a big debut like this. And of course, Danhausen isn't on a John Cena turning heel level. I think it'd be awesome. I actually think he'd be great in NXT, to be honest, because that show is totally not. But I hope it happens. Now, do not forget as well, we're looking at all eventualities here as well, so I think we have to put it in there that number 8 could be R-Truth, right? It wouldn't put it past WWE to come up with a surprise just so you get excited, and then you get to the surprise, and it's somebody that we see each and every single week. It could even be the joke that R-Truth has, like when he was in the Royal Rumble, he did a hot tag, that he thought he was in a Money in the Bank, and there's a bunch of other skits that he's done that I do find very, very funny. I think WWE would be playing with fire here. I think it'd be totally nuts because people would feel let down. Not because of R-Truth, who is one of the best wrestlers ever, especially sports entertainers. I don't care what anybody says. And maybe it's our fault too, but we obviously raise our expectations in our head, and if all of a sudden they are thrown on the floor, we do get a little bit mad. And I guess even though it's not their fault, WWE does need to take that into account. But also, it feels like it should be a big deal. And that's not me being awful to R-Truth. I love the guy. But when you see someone each and every week, it's impossible to get super excited about it. Even if it was Randy Orton that came out of the box, we all love Randy Orton, it would have to be John Cena. For the record, it's not John Cena, but I tried to think about every single thing that WWE could do Number 7 is some kind of video game reveal, right? I think somebody else said this on social media, but it popped into my brain too. I was like, oh no, it's really close to when the game is meant to be coming out. And you could just imagine them all thinking this is a wonderful idea. Maybe it's going to announce a new wrestler. We obviously know CM Punk is on the cover, which is awesome. I think most of the modes are out there now as well. I don't think this one will happen, but as soon as it entered my stupid brain, I got a bit worried. I was like, oh no, it could be a promotional tool. Because all we've seen at the moment is Adam Pearce and Eli, was that the name of the delivery driver, somehow get a package delivered to WWE Land, WW3 124, whatever the flub it was. I think this is why we should all hold our horses. And I'm to blame just as much, although I'm a bit different because even if it was, I don't know, my mum, actually that would surprise me. Let's not go with my mum. Even if it was Finn Balor, I've just ruined the list. The point is, even if it was already somebody that I was expecting, I'd just go shrug emoji and move on. But a lot more people are emotionally invested. So arguably, don't do anything for 2K26. Actually, as well, talking about it as well, I don't think they screwed up the Obafemi entrance. Actually, if you do go back a year and watch the Obafemi entrance, it's not as good as the one now, because obviously he was learning and evolving. I understand we want the game to be as up-to-date as possible, but I think that may be the thing. I also could be completely wrong. I love the guys at 2K. They've always been very nice to me. At the same time, do not do this. Bad idea. Number 6 is the Gobbledy Gooker. We have to learn from the past, and of course, whenever it was, back at 1990 Survivor Series, when The Undertaker thought he could be Eggman, we had a giant egg, and we all got excited about this, and a giant turkey that will be on the screen right now, in case you are a new fan, popped out. It was bad, it was terrible, it was meant for kids, even kids thought this was dumb. There's a rumor out there that Vince McMahon saw Mario and Sonic, Nintendo, Sega having mascots, and he decided a giant turkey that looked like it was on drugs should be WWE's mascot. One of the worst ideas ever. I mean, it makes me laugh. Poor Hector Guerrero had to play this giant thing. It lasted all of, a month? I think WWE tried once more. They looked at each other like this was a terrible idea. We also have brought the Gobbledy Gooker back before for sort of special episodes of Raw and whatnot. Let's not do this again, okay? In fact, just in case right now you do have a comedy answer in that box, change your minds right now, WWE, because again, you could go back 36 years. Number 5 is Seth Rollins. Would it make any sense for Seth Rollins to be in this box? Absolutely not. But we don't know the full elimination card as I am talking to you right now. We've got pretty much of a good idea. But maybe he pops out the box and beats the Vision up. I mean, he is the masked man. And at the moment, they are the 3 mysteries we have on Raw. You got the telephone dude, who's Adam Pearce talking to, along with Paul Heyman. You have the masked man, and you have the box. Who's to say that you can't push your hands together? And then technically, they could say, actually, we only had 2 mysteries. We just tricked you with a 3rd one. But I would argue that, yes, anyone who is not around right now, maybe on the road to WrestleMania, could absolutely be in that box. So it could be a Seth Rollins because he's the major guy that is injured right now. I wouldn't do that because I think when Seth comes back, he needs to be a full-on babyface and want to. Actually, no, I think Seth Rollins could get away with that. I'm going to cut myself off there. I think people would think that was a cool surprise. It's not going to happen. This is like 1% chance of happening, but I like the idea of it. If there was a big segment going on with the Vision in the ring, or maybe Bronson Reed does get into the chamber and it's Seth Rollins that screws him over because somebody for no reason whatsoever wheels that box out there, I think Seth Rollins would get a pop, and I actually think that would make him double down as a babyface. I completely changed my mind. Do it as Seth Rollins, but don't, because I don't think he's ready yet. Give him time. Now, number 4 is basically pick your poison, but I guess, and I don't know how you would justify this, I don't know, but I was just trying to think of every, again, situation that could happen, given it is a specific pay-per-view. And if you wanted Jericho for 2 to get in the Elimination Chamber, which some people said that he should do and he should win, and then you figure out a way to slip Cody in there as well, which I think is a terrible idea. I think that will get the Cody haters, the Cody crybabies, even more riled up. But you could, for some reason, have Jericho for 2 come out of the box and enter the Elimination Chamber, or it could be someone else. It could be a Sami Zayn. It could be a Grayson Waller. I don't believe he's in the Elimination Chamber. That one, to me, is really pulling at straws. I don't think you should start adding random people into the Elimination Chamber unless it was going to be some sort of heel GM, like an Eric Bischoff could have done this back in the day, a Vince McMahon, and Vicky Guerrero and the women's one. Like, these people would have ticked that box, although at the same time would have made you roll your eyes. That one, to me, would be a disappointment, but I do get that. We have 6 people. Jericho for 2 can't be in it, and Sami Zayn can't be in it, and some other people, like Gunther, for example, he can't be in it. But then you also have to ask yourself, why would they put themselves in a box-like structure, and why would either Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis decide, sure, whatever comes out that I'll put in the Elimination Chamber? What if it was a crocodile, or an alligator, or a lion? They would get in the chamber, and not only would they kill everyone, that would mean by technicality they had one, and then you'd have to do Drew McIntyre versus a lion or an alligator at WrestleMania 42. I'm going to hazard a guess, it wouldn't draw very well. Number 3 is a dead guy. because I double-checked the box, or a dead girl, of course, or a dead animal, I suppose. There's no holes in that box. Now, we're assuming that there's human life in there, of course. It could be anything. But if it is something that needs oxygen and it needs to breathe to stay alive, there's every chance we go bam, bam, front comes out, and there's a dead person in there. Deceased, over, maybe somehow they've become a zombie, which would be better for them, because at least they could compete in the match. But I think it's a fair point. I really like the idea of number 2, but I also think I'd be intrigued to see how the fans would react to it. But if we get to CM Punk versus Finn Balor, and this is the way that we reintroduce the Demon Finn Balor, I would quite like it. Now, I don't want it to be spooky wooky like it was before. I think Finn Balor has talked about this as well. I think the way it was presented in New Japan was the best way to do it. Or in NXT UK, they did some good ones as well. It should just be war paint. I'm 99% sure that's how Finn Balor sees it as well. He would know better than I, for example. But there is something about that just because it would be more of a surprise. And I think as well, if Finn Balor went in there and totally kicked ass, and it is Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough potentially screw him over, it does kind of protect the Demon character as well. Although you could double down and argue this, maybe we should leave the Demon until WrestleMania after he does get kicked out of the Judgment Day to prove that he's super duper mad. But I did like that idea. I do like that as a concept. And I think the Finn Balor Demon version is over so much that people wouldn't mind, especially because you would know the World Championship match is coming. We've got a good feel for these things, and sometimes WWE will pre-announce it as well. If somebody wheeled out the box, maybe CM Punk does his entrance first, even though he is the champion. I think that would get a nice buzz in Chicago, especially because you'll get the dun-dun, the sort of low music thing that WWE does beforehand. Although they have done that for normal babyface Finn Balor as well. I don't know. I think it's a creative idea. Dare I use the word cute, which makes me an absolute idiot. But there is something to that. I don't think it's the best one. I think an actual person we haven't seen and is making their debut should always walk out of a box. But in terms to bring back the Demon in a different way and to kind of allow CM Punk to do the whole Triple H Cactus Jack or Mankind into Cactus Jack reaction, I don't mind it. But then the Demon Balor also loses straight away. The next time we see a Demon, I would much rather it was against Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, and that mother flubber wins. There is a number 1 that we have to consider as well. This isn't a joke. I'm being serious. Based on pro wrestling pasts, it could be nothing. Right? It could literally be nothing. How many times has WWE or WCW or TNA or Ring of Honor or AEW just forgotten to give us a payoff? This box may not be on SmackDown. I don't know. I'm recording this video before SmackDown because I'm actually away right now. Ugh, scary, which is why it's going up on a Saturday when I'm not talking about SmackDown at all. Maybe they just changed their minds and we never talk about the box again. I mean, there's who threw the power in Kevin Owens' face. There's the lot box with Shane and Vince McMahon. There's a ton of these. To the point I'm not going to start naming them because I'll forget. There's loads in 1999 for WCW and 2000. Who kidnapped Samoa Joe in 2007, I believe it was, in TNA. Doesn't make anything. Who was driving the white Hummer in WCW? Just the unsolved mysteries that go on and on and on. This box could be added to that list, and we haven't had this for that long, but at the moment we still don't know who this man Adam Pearce is texting is, and I can't even think who that could be, given that it can't be Triple H for reasons that Paul Heyman has talked about. So I would just set your faces to stunned and annoyed and go moan on the internet. It could be flubbing nobody. There you go. There are 10 things. Now it will be secret number 11 that I haven't even thought about, but you can think about it and you can do it in the comments below. And look, we've got a good week till the chamber. If you get it right now, you're going to look like absolute heroes. That's what I think you should do. Please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which we'll be talking about wrestling. I'd massively appreciate it. Otherwise, it's goodmind.com/Simon. Use code Simon to get money off. Good fitness supplements, the best. They ship worldwide. Patreon.com/Simon316. Simon Miller316 on all social media channels. Brand new YouTube channel. Check it out, Under the Mat. It is Between the Two Ferns. Hey, a bit of Kirby enthusiasm in terms of the character I play interviews. I used to do this 10 years ago. I think they're really fun and I really enjoy them, which I rarely say about my own content, so please do check them out. At the moment, you probably won't know the guests, but I'm trying to build a little bit of a spotlight on British wrestling too, but also it's not even about the guests. It's about the content. I think it's funny. If not, tell me. Then where you win anyway. I think that's everything. Did I say the social medias? I did. And then, of course, there's TikTok and Cameo and Pro Wrestling Tees and all of that stuff. Enjoy your week, my friends. Again, I am technically away right now, but I'm still talking to you like a ghost. See you soon.